Alright, so we're finally doing this. I got the pieces off here, all the bolts out for the axle, and now went and picked up all of the lug studs. So you guys can see there's a kind of cut a little bit from when I was running the spacers, which wasn't an issue, but I don't know. So here you go. We have brand new lug nuts, and here's the bolts that hold the axle in. You guys can see I went and got all new lug studs, and they are the longer ones. I special ordered these. These were like 75 bucks for everything, so not too big a deal. I also got a new hardware kit for the e-brake. Finally got anti-seize, and that should be it. So let's get it. Also, for anyone wondering, here is the CRV, by the way. So we put 1,700 miles on it. And he said there was a lot of metal in the pan. It has 186.5 on it. There was a ton of metal in the pan, and there was almost no coolant in it. And they've done the head gasket for us under warranty a month prior. And yeah, there was a ton of metal in the pan, so wasn't under warranty apparently, because it was only making noise until it threw a rod. Here's the old engine, so fun. There we go. Pull that guy out. Let her go. Let it drip for a little while. So for anyone wondering, on the dualies, you do have to pull the entire wheel stud, or you have to pull the entire axle out to do the wheel studs. So that really blows, but every single time. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, pull this clip out, which usually they're not, you know, too bad. Come on. So there you go. I got the clip out. Wasn't the, you know, easiest or hardest thing in the world. So there's one of those, and people keep getting on me about the torque spec on these. Look how easy I can take this off, right? So I can come over here and I can pretty much just hit this with a hammer and a screwdriver and it'll come out, right? I don't have a torque spec on this. Basically what I do is I get it as tight as I can with a screwdriver or one of these, and I hit it all the way until you get to a hole, and then once you can't go anymore, you back it off to one of them, you can put it in. Never had a problem with wheel bearings on these older Dodges, so that's just my experience. Alright, got the caliper off. Now on your reverse leveled trucks, you can't get to the top bolts. See, I just take the whole bracket off in one, and then you can pretty much just shake this guy here, which I think the e-brake's on. I need to take that off. Now I need to do my e-brake adjustments. I need to pretty much take all this out because this is all rusty, and this was replaced like not too long ago, so I'm gonna end up doing all that. Alright, you guys can see there's 8 of these bolts here that hold the rotor to the bottom piece there, so we'll get that separated. Alright, and there's what you have left. So I'm gonna flip this over and start beating the crap out of it with a hammer and get those studs out. Alright, here's the hub. Like I said, start beating it with a hammer. Alright, there they are. Alright, so I'm pretty much cleaning like all of this off, and then I'm going to use anti-seize when I put everything back together. So that way, you know, there's no crud buildup between everything, and it's just, it'll make life a lot easier. A little messier, but a little bit easier. Alright, well, we're getting them in now. I'll start smacking them with a hammer and getting them going in. Alright, they're all in. Make sure they're all seated. Go from there. Alright, so here's the old. You guys can see this goes on there, but hey, look, it's seized, rusted. So get rid of that, replace it with new stuff, and then put anti-seize on it. So all this just to replace e-brake cables. Yeah, this was never gonna spin. All right, so I got the bottom. This is what I was mainly worried about here, is the adjustment. So I got this perfect. I pulled this out, pried it all apart, and then was able to put this back in. So there you go. So I'm gonna put all this back on, torque these down, and go from there. All right, so how I did this was basically I just used this on both ends, spin it as much as possible till it stops. It'll go over, and then you'll back it off and put it on that. You know, a lot of you guys complain that, oh, you didn't use a torque spec, this and that. I'm like, I don't know, this, I have over 175,000 miles on these bearings, and they're perfect. So shut up, suck it up. All right, I'm gonna pop this thing in, and then obviously it's in neutral with the e-brake off, so I'm gonna put some brand new RTV black on it, never had one leak, and then we'll go from there. Slam it all down, throw some anti-seize all around this, throw the wheels back on, and be done with it. All right, well, there you go. Anti-seize, the one side going on. I gotta clean this off a little bit, and then we'll throw that on, and then I'm gonna anti-seize in the middle, so that way they don't get stuck together or anything, or create, like, you know, this is where, like, you can see the rust, all that shows up. So all right, so I had a few of you guys messaged me about 285 7017s, a couple Hotshotters actually that don't run spacers at all, and they do touch on the bottom, and they get like 65-70,000 miles out of them. I don't like these because with the spacer in, you guys can see there's not enough stud. Like if I compare it to a stud over here, you guys can see there's a little nub on the end there, so it really is only engaging like that much, whereas it could be engaging like a lot more. So that's just how I feel, but you guys will notice that it definitely sticks a little bit further out as opposed to like this one where it's like super tucked. So that little ½ inch makes a little bit of a difference, but even still, it's like, you guys can see they don't touch anymore, but it's like, I don't know. We'll see. I'll run it for a little while. I'll tell you if I have any issues with it, but e-brake is way tighter. I'm gonna go pull the e-brake for you guys, or push it. I'm gonna show you something, right? Push the e-brake. I'm in first gear as well, so I'm gonna put myself in neutral. Watch this. That's with the e-brake on, okay? Now look at this side. Can't even move it, so good to go. So on the other side, you guys can see, where are they? Like these were some of the studs that were from the other ones. This is what they're supposed to look like on the dualies. They told me 2 incorrect ones, and then the ends actually finally snapped. You can see. So here's the nut on the bottom of these lug nuts. This is why you want to soak them in oil, because this nut sees up and you get an improper torque spec. So that's kind of what I was explaining. So put this on, and we'll go from there. The other side is done. Alright, you guys probably can't see too much, but it is nighttime, and yeah, obviously. So all the studs are replaced, e-brake works, so edge works. So it's like every one of the out of services that I could have gotten are taken care of, and we can now go deliver the load on Monday. We have some things to do tomorrow. I just got a kingpin in, so we're gonna be going and doing that. But again, sorry it's dark. I don't really have anywhere to film, but hope you guys enjoyed this short video. See you guys in the next one. Safe travels. Have a good one.